The search is on across the Magic Valley after two businesses were robbed at gunpoint in less than 12 hours. Joey Martin for Idaho's First News has been following these cases all day and joins us live from the site of the Twin Falls robbery. Joey, what do we know as of now? Good evening and thanks for tuning in to Idaho's First News. I'm Aimee Burnett. A number of vehicles burglarized in Twin Falls in less than 24 hours. Joe, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer claims that the White House is trying to get Sergeant Bergdahl to strike a deal in order to avoid a potentially embarrassing trial for the administration. President Obama faced criticism for trading the Haley native. From mirrors that dress you to shelves that practically restock themselves, many stores could soon be giving customers a better shopping experience with some cutting-edge innovations. A water line in Twin Falls broke this morning, sending city crews scrambling to maintain order. Thanks for watching the news at 6. I'm Aimee Burnett. Joey Martin for Idaho's First News joins us live from the intersection where it happened. Joey, what's the latest?
2 people are dead after an early morning wreck on the interstate. Thanks for watching the news at 6. I'm Joe Martin.
And I'm Aimee Burnett. The accident happened at around 1:45 this morning near milepost 161.
That's right, 21-year-old Tyler Dupree.
And washing cars are limited. And we just found out today a little bit about our drought situation. Brian Newdorf joins us now to share.
Well, I mean, it's been dry.
A new company is calling the Mini-Cassia region its home. This afternoon, Fabrical announced they were coming to Burley. Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Martin.
And I'm Aimee Burnett. The company is a leading provider of plastic food service and custom thermoformed packaging solutions. Idaho is one of the fastest growing states in the nation, coming in 9th place according to the U.S. Census. The Gem State saw a 1.3% increase in growth during that time.
Rachel Holt.
That's right, Joe. It's been a busy legislative session with lawmakers tackling everything from education, tax reform, reproductive rights, and guns, just to name a few. And it's not over just yet. One of the more involved processes lawmakers are tasked with each year is the budget. I'm joined now by Representative Maxine Bell, who is the co-chairman of the Joint Finance Appropriations Committee. You've been very busy at work. How is the budget going this year? And what will that do for the education system as a whole? And let's talk a little bit about how the budget has changed in the last 5 years now that we're starting to bounce back. Okay, and you guys have also put an emphasis on transportation as well. The roads are in poor shape. Tell me about that.
Danielle, the fire started at 126 West Main Street. Like you said, around 4:30. Firefighters were here within about 5 minutes. At some point in time, the fire spread from 126 West Main to 132 West Main. The fire chief said it spread through a hole about the size of a Buick. When firefighters first arrived on scene, they tried to go in. They immediately experienced some sort of, I guess, a smoke explosion. They left the building and they have not gone back inside since then. As you can see behind me, they are continuing to put water on that building. That building has collapsed at this time, and there are still hot spots and little flare-ups that are happening. Mutual aid was called off periodically throughout the night, but they are expected to return today. At one point in time, there were 54 firefighters from around the Magic Valley here battling these flames, trying to get it under control. Let's first talk about some of the elements you were battling last night. What factor did the wind play in this whole process?
The wind was creating a drafting effect inside the structures.
There was a really potentially dangerous situation that happened because of the draft that was created. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, we initially...
What's the process moving forward as far as the investigation?
We were talking earlier about a shift in the dairy industry that's gone from seasonal to full-time. Talk to me a little bit about that.
It's another great day out here at the Twin Falls County Fair. I'm joined now by Larry Hiskett, Willie's Washboard Jamboree. Tell us about your show. The Twin Falls County Fair is in full swing with lots of activity and shows. Coming up after the break, I will talk one-on-one and tell you all about a popular show this year, Wild About Monkeys.
They can be very affectionate.
Well, I saw some of your affection earlier. You want to give a demonstration?
Like maybe, can I have a kiss? That's a hug, but how about a kiss? Oh, that's so sweet of you. I appreciate it.
Very sweet. Joe, I'm here at the Franklin Building Supply stage in Filer, and I have to say, this year's fair food selection is impressive. Funnel cakes, elephant ears still remain today, but as time changes, so do people's tastes.
Joe, Austin Riggs is a typical teenager. He loves football, hunting, and he's looking forward to college. But Austin has an extraordinary story thanks to the nonprofit organization Hunt of a Lifetime.
I was diagnosed 3 years ago in December. It was in my lymph nodes from my waist up.
15-year-old Austin Riggs is a cancer survivor. He was diagnosed with stage 2 Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2011. A lifelong hunter, Austin retreated to the woods to heal.
I was taking chemo and radiation. I still was out in the woods. I'd go out in a tree stand and I'd be so sick I'd wake up for 15-20 minutes and I'd go back to sleep. And Grandpa would give me my shots out there in the tree stand and I'd still hunt and I'd still shoot my deer.
For Austin, being in the woods with his grandpa is like being home.
I started out hunting with him since I was 3 years old in the tree stand. Shot my first deer when I was 6 with him. And I've just hunted ever since, consistent. We'll just share stories and talk about school and football and stuff like that.
Every moment we can, we're in the woods together. I've spent hundreds of hours in the woods with him.
It was during treatment that Austin learned of a unique hunting opportunity.
Well, when Austin was sick with cancer and they came through the hospital with a Make-A-Wish and was telling him he could go to Disney World or ride on a cruise ship, and he said, I want to go hunting. And I said, well, we don't offer a hunt.
Later, Austin's caseworker returned with paperwork for a Hunt of a Lifetime.
You know, when times are tough, everyone needs a dream, and looking forward to a hunt like this, a very special hunt, I think is really a great thing for the kids to have to dream for.
Bryant Dunn is one of many volunteers who offer services free of charge to keep the program running.
Elk hunting in Idaho is spectacular. We've got the 3rd highest population of any state in the country, about 100,000 animals, a little more. We're going to go out and work some pretty rough country. We're going to be climbing mountains, gaining sometimes as much as maybe 2,000 vertical feet in a day and covering several miles. We'll be hunting with a rifle, but it's going to be very challenging.
And in the end, Austin went home with a trophy for his wall and memories to last a lifetime.
That looks like a good bull. Congratulations! You just killed a beautiful bull.
In Fairfield, Aimee Burnett, Idaho's First News. With winter weather in full swing, the Twin Falls Streets Department is working overtime.
We've got 650 miles of road in the city.
With just 5 trucks, department workers hit the streets. But their work begins long before the storm arrives.
Depending on what the amount of snow that we're expected, we'll come in and we'll start pre-wetting. We have a lot of problem areas.
They target the most dangerous roads and intersections first, like this steep hill on Grandview, which connects with Addison Avenue at the bottom.
We use mag chloride, or we use another product if it's below 20 degrees called geomelt. It creates a surface between the pavement and the ice so the ice won't stick and we can plow it off easier.
Behind the scenes, protocols are in place at the city level to help the streets department.
We have officers that are on patrol 24/7, obviously, and they're seeing the streets and they're driving those streets at all hours of the day and night.
Part of their job is to identify the more dangerous streets and dispatch the plows. In emergency situations where the city is unable to keep up with the ice buildup, city leaders will notify the public.
Through either our website, through local media, and we're working on an alert ID system that will be able to text people to let them know that we would just rather they stay home.
Keeping citizens informed and safe is their top priority. In Twin Falls, Aimee Burnett.
We begin with a developing story out of Minidoka County, where the Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting. It's a story you heard here first on Idaho's First News at 5. Aimee Burnett for Idaho's First News has been following the story. She joins us now from the studio with the details. Aimee.
Joe, the Minidoka County Sheriff's Office is releasing few details in the case, but here's what we do know.
Shots rang out in a rural part of Heyburn Friday afternoon. Multiple law enforcement agencies responded after receiving a 911 call. At least 2 homes are being investigated. Hannelore Fabrash's husband came home around 3:30 and noticed cop cars at a home down the street.
And so he went to the back door into the house to put up the groceries, and he noticed our front door was broken in. So he went back out to tell the police person, and he immediately escorted him off our land, our property, and there has been apparently a shooting down the road, and my house became a crime scene.
It was several hours before she was allowed to enter her home. It's not clear if her home was where the incident originated or if it started at a separate location. Law enforcement officials are not releasing who was shot and whether there were any fatalities. In an interview this evening, Minidoka County Sheriff Eric Snar had this to say.
At this point in time, I'm not able to release too much information. We do have a mile-long stretch of the road shut off at this point. It's an ongoing investigation. There's obviously more than one area that we're looking into.
Now we're told there is a press conference sometime tomorrow morning. We will continue to follow this story very closely and will bring you the latest information as it becomes available. In the studio, Aimee Burnett, Idaho's